And so we are all set for the off. Early kickoff in WSL2. There are 4 more games coming down the pipe at 2 p.m. Busy day for Crystal Palace as well. The men's team playing Chelsea in the Premier League at 2 p.m. So busy day for their fans. So Crystal Palace chasing a 5th straight WSL2 win. Durham just chasing minutes on the pitch. It's been so long since they've been able to pull up their socks and lace up those boots. And it will be interesting to see how they get themselves back to grips against the informed team of the WSL2. And Palace already starting out, trying to create space on the edge of the box. Hughes picking out Vid, but she's crowded out. And Durham can bring the ball forward with Abby Jones, who loves to run. Molly Lambert in front of her, picks up the ball. And it might fall again for Lambert, who can shoot from range. Grace Eade playing off the left. Lambert again, you will notice the number 8 is everywhere in that Durham midfield. Here's the captain, Sarah Wilson. Years of experience from the Northern Ireland international. Flick passes, looking for the continued run of Heppel, who will forever be a thorn in the side of Hayley Nolan & Co at the back for Crystal Palace, as she has been all up the leagues with this Durham team. Absolute superstar in the northeast. Ashley Veerden to take the throw. Dual international. Started her international career playing for her birth country, the Netherlands, and has recently switched to play for Suriname, to which she has family links. Jones again. Thought she'd won a throw, but the ball had already gone out. So it will be a Palace throw. Nolan part of her back 3 along with her captain Everett and Jamie Lee Napier, who plays on this near right side of the Palace back 3. And Veerden has used her pace so quick that we can't keep up with her. And doing well to retain possession. Ladd will just sit at the base of the Crystal Palace midfield. Keep them ticking. Veerden, every time she gets a chance, she tries to go outside her opponent. Lightning quick, and has some end product too. But Durham have managed to wrestle the ball away from her. And Heppel trying to add just a little bit of composure and control to that Durham midfield. Ball is fired up towards Speckmeyer. Kato, the Sweden international, wearing number 5, will play in the midfield along with Hayley Ladd, but quite often, if the team are under pressure, she just drops into the back line to help them soak it up. First touch for Jamie Lee Napier. Everett, the captain, with the attempted burst into the midfield, but she's been caught out. And caught out of position, and Durham trying to advance. But Yanez can come out, the American, and cut out any Durham progress. Crystal Palace beaten 5-0 by Chelsea in the FA Cup. In fact, their last 2 defeats have been real learning curves for Jo Potter and her team. They played Arsenal, the reigning European champions, in the League Cup. They were beaten by them, as you might expect. And then beaten by the reigning WSL champions in the FA Cup last week, 5-0. And Jo Potter said, Actually, we learnt a lot in that defeat, and we've tried to put it into practice this week. Nolan advancing, and now Veerden. High cross is too high, and out for a Durham goal kick. So first touch for Kat Shepherd, a New Yorker, signed from Sporting Lisbon in July. Quite the climate shift for her. Veerden again. Told you she was tricky, and she's pulled back by the shorts. And Crystal Palace have a first attacking free kick. Chance to load the box. Speckmar trying to stand on the ball and slow down the Palace preparation. Annabelle Blanchard wearing the same number 17, just threw a glance to the referee. Are you going to police that? They have a number of specialists who can send in free kicks. In their last league game, Ladd, from much more central to this, stuck it right in the top corner to win the game against Sheffield United. But Blanchard tends to be the taker from this sort of range. Trying a well-worked move, drilled into the feet of Howard, and Veerden running off her, and Howard couldn't quite pick her out. Good noise from the Palace fans, aided by the drum. Hughes' touch was really smart, offloading to Blanchard, who's surrounded by two, couldn't quite get the ball out of her feet. Eade thought she'd kept the ball in. Flag has gone up, whistle is blown, and it will be a Palace throw on this near side. If you take away the Palace Cup defeats, Chelsea and Arsenal, well, what a run they've been on. Last game was a bit of Monday night football. Game had to be moved because of Sheffield United men's team playing in an FA Cup game on the Sunday. And Monday night was the only time they could find a fixture at Bramall Lane. Palace went up there, got the job done. They beat Bristol City by 3-2, Birmingham City by 3-0. Really good win when you look at that in the context of the WSL 2 table. Birmingham winning yesterday against Portsmouth to take outright second behind Charlton in the league. And Palace also showed a different side of their game when they beat Ipswich away by 2-1. A fight-back win coming from behind. Goals from Abby Larkin and Ash Veerden wrapping things up. Late winner for Larkin in that one. Durham's form has been a complete contrast. Have to go back to October for the last time they won a game of football. Palace under Joe Potter have been committed to playing their way out of trouble from the back. Yanez likes to put the ball down and pass through the defence. Doesn't always work, as you see here. And a loose ball gratefully falling to the boot of Hayley Nolan. Seems a tactic of Durham to not give Annabelle Blanchard any space at all in that midfield. The Palace number 17. Palace dictating possession. 60% of the ball has been at the boot of the Eagles players. And here they have it again down the left-hand side. Howard wins a throw, takes it quickly. Elise Hughes is the target, and Blanchard is inside her, and it was well intercepted by Foster. Needed to be. Now Durham get the chance to move up the field, and Napier came across from her position of right centre-back and did some mopping up on the left. And the press has worked here though, and Durham have the ball high up. Jones with the shot, and Yanez was full stretch, and it went flashing across the face of her goal. Lauren Briggs winning the ball high up the field, Abby Jones with the shot, and Lambert was lurking. First real chance we've had in the game, a half chance perhaps, but came in the 10th minute. Once again, Palace passing their way out from the back. Long ball over the top is good, but it's too long. Molly Sharp was giving chase. Michaela Foster made a really important intervention just a few moments before Durham went up the other end and had that first clear shot of the game. Kiwi international, she's in her second season at Maiden Castle. Palace throw. Heavy pass from Everett, encouraging Nolan to advance onto the ball. Nolan playing one for Howard to chase. Now Blanchard doing well to find space in the box, and the ball has been threaded through. Howard is there. There is a late challenge, but the flag is already up, and Durham can breathe again. There is not a question in my mind that Kirsty Howard was fouled there, but she had come from an offside position. Little heart-in-mouth moment for Adam Furness and the Durham team. Relieved when they glanced across to the left touchline and saw the linesman's flag up. Everett from a really deep starting position when Crystal Palace had possession there. Blanchard is dispossessed. Abby Jones doing defensive work, and the throw-in has been given against Crystal Palace. Grazer to take the throw. Loose ball stolen by Hughes, and now Blanchard can test the pace of the back line. Wilson doing well to push her out wide, happy to concede the throw. Plenty of options in the middle if Veerden can find the space to get a cross away. She usually can. It's a good defensive tackle by Abby Jones. And Palace have their first corner of the match. Blanchard can deliver. The only opportunity she's had so far was the free kick, which Palace opted for a short one. It didn't quite work out for them. Right now, in sticky, wet conditions, she's opting not to put the ball up high over the top of Kat Shepherd. Instead, trying the short routine, and Lambert gets the head away. Briggs with an inch-perfect pass to Jones, and too much on it for Lambert to chase. Napier was able to just come across and snuff out the danger. Everybody on the Durham bench erupted there, claiming the throw-in. Don't know whether that influenced the officials' team, but the free kick has been given for the high boot from Blanchard. Moving the ball quickly, and Lambert now needs a bit of support down this left-hand side. Gets it from Briggs. And Lambert looking for the advancing Eid. Too much on that, out for a goal kick. Great to see the flags behind Shea Yene's goal. Welsh Dragon flag there behind the goal. Elise Hughes will love to see that. Wales international. But the danger is here, and Speckmeyer is in, and the flag is up on the far side. But that came from nothing. A long clearance, headed back immediately, and Speckmeyer. Eyes would have lit up as she targeted a third goal of the season. Hughes with the flick on, and the through ball from Blanchard, encouraged to chase it. Good opportunity for Palace there, plenty of space in behind the left back. Cato's flick has Blanchard in some space, and unlike her inaccurate pass, easily intercepted by Wilson. And while we have a quick break in play, no, next time we do, we'll take a quick look at the penalty shout. In fact, we will do it now. The flag was up, remember that, it's important, but Kirsty Howard here plays the give and go. Watch the player with the orange boots, Howard. When it comes through to her, definitely fouled, but the flag was up. And so Durham can breathe again. And we're back with live pictures now. In the 19th minute of the game, a long throw. And it might yet fall for Lambert, who has a bit of an air shot. And Cato has picked out Howard over the halfway line. Only one player in support. That support is now arriving, but Eid has done well. Too much on that for Nolan. They are the passes that Vid wants, though. A little bit left on them, enough room for her to operate and chase through, but far too much on that one. Still Palace shading the possessional battle, but yet to have a shot on or off target in this game. Cato penalised for the double-handed push in the back. Durham will have the free kick and a chance to send their players higher up the field. Quick reminder of the shape of the table after yesterday's game between Portsmouth and Birmingham City, a 4-0 win for Birmingham. It's lifted them just 2 points behind Charlton, second in the WSL 2. Charlton do have a game in hand, but perhaps of more importance to Durham down the other end of the table. Portsmouth are behind them on goal difference at the beginning of this game, both on 10 points. Durham have a game in hand. If they could take something from this game, it would just ease the pressure somewhat after a sticky run. Jones has won a throw for Durham on that far side. In terms of the shape of the league, the top two automatically promoted. Third place will have a relegation promotion playoff with a team from the division above. So much on that. Can't wait for that at the end of the season. But right now, Hughes is advancing and squaring to Howard. And it is a brilliant saving challenge. Michaela Foster, the Kiwi, coming across and slamming the door in her face. Well, they had 3 on 2. Hughes' ball fed Howard. Wonder if she could have got the shot away fractionally earlier. But not to take anything away from Michaela Foster, that was superb defending. Durham happily just passing the ball around at the back. Trying to get a foothold in the possessional game. The Palace game is built around having the ball. Other teams happier to stand off it in this division. Only Nottingham Forest, Birmingham and Newcastle see more of the ball than Crystal Palace in the WSL 2 this season. Well, let's have another look at this. Brilliant defending from Michaela Foster. Hughes feeding Howard. Just took one touch too many. But across came the Kiwi with the saving tackle for Durham to keep it goalless. Blanchard in round the back, cutting the ball across. And Jones is having to do defensive duty to keep it away from Veerden. And beating her for pace. Didn't have that on my bingo card today. Approaching 25 minutes in the game, to the second half of the first half, and clear-cut chances have been few and far between. Abby Jones had a shot flash across the face of the Palace goal, and that Kirsty Howard blocked effort. Wonderful sliding tackle from Michaela Foster is as close as either side have come to breaking the deadlock. Durham do keep it tight though, you think. They're 10th in the WSL table, but only 3 teams have conceded fewer goals this season. It's at the other end where they don't see the net rustle too often. Eade goes back to a goalkeeper, Shepherd. It's good pressure from Durham, forcing Napier to go back to a captain. Speckmaier continues the press, applying that pressure to Yanez. Crystal Palace staying calm, trying to pass their way through the lines. Kato, perhaps none calmer. Lovely little Cruyff turn from Nolan, and it took a nick off the boot of Heppel. Palace throw. Vid trying to thread the ball through the eye of a needle to pick out Blanchard, but closed down. The whistle's gone for a foul on Briggs. Just been to tangle, nothing more. The Palace drummer earning their keep today. Hayley Ladd needed support, gets it from her captain. Palace once again trying to build from the back. Defending high up the field, Durham. Both managers claiming it's their ball, and Joe Potter very unhappy to see it go the other way. A loose one from Shepherd. Chance for Sharp to get forward down this right-hand side with the throw. Gets it back from Blanchard, who can get her head up and try and get the cross in. It's spinning and looping and well watched by Shepherd. Now it's Crystal Palace's turn to try and win the ball back higher up the field. Napier is continuing to try and win the ball. Durham want a free kick. Now they get it. Free kick has been awarded. Speckmaier was on top of the ball and still being kicked, and that's why she's having a word with the referee's assistant. Why did the flag not go up? Why did the whistle not go sooner? Palace might argue, well, she's obstructing the ball. Either way, Durham get the decision. That's played straight out, and once again Palace have a chance to move up the field down this right-hand side. Couple of interesting faces on the bench for Crystal Palace today. Kelly Brady was signed on the 11th of January, 18-month deal. American-born, but a recent Ireland call-up. Absolutely banged the goals in the Irish League. It'll be intriguing to see how she settles in at this level. Palace do like to make the pitch big. Always happy to bring Yanez into play. She's quite content to sit outside her penalty area as well. Almost as an 11th outfielder. Idea being, keep the ball, frustrate the opponents, try to draw them up the field and create space in behind. But Durham have been patient and won the ball back with Jones. Finds Lambert, and Lambert can cross. And it might have been a shot, you know. It went racing across Yanez's goal. Cross come shot, I think we'll file that as. If anybody was in there, maybe they could have got ahead on it. Speckmaier trying to urge Durham into a quick press from the goal kick, which is again taken short. Palace defenders do move the ball really well, but that is not a wise pass into the boot of Hayley Ladd from Yanez. Put her under immense pressure. Pass was never on. Palace have done well to retain possession. A little shove in the back perhaps. Play continues. Grace Eyre with the defensive action, but she's given the ball away. Blanchard on the slide tackle. Howitz tries to thread the ball through, and Eyre recovers and puts a hand up in the air to say sorry to her teammates for putting them under the cosh. Lambert dropping deep to collect the ball and trying to create space to move her team up the field. Loose ball. Howard chasing down Wilson, and Wilson clears her lines. Molly Sharp yet to really leave a mark on this game so far. Half an hour on the clock already. Everett in a tussle with Speckmaier and tugging away at her shirt. And penalised, I have to say, I think a little fortunate not to be booked there, because Speckmaier looked like she'd got goal side and would have been away. See here from the pass, the Palace captain is out of position and just a tussle, maybe just jostling rather than aggressively pulling the shirt. High pass is well watched by Everett, and Veerden had to come in behind her to mop up. That's nice play by Howard to keep possession for Palace. And they've shifted it from left to right, and Napier is encouraged to advance. Good defending from Grace Eade, who's dropped a little bit deeper, was playing high up on this left side earlier on in the half, but it's all hands on deck as Durham look to see out this spell of high possession from Crystal Palace. Hughes into the box, helps it goalwards. Good claim from Shepherd, who's always got a head up and looking to immediately swing the pendulum. Blanchard has stayed down and play on initially, said the referee, before realising there was no advantage to Crystal Palace, and the foul has now been given by Jay Wardle. Durham haven't allowed Crystal Palace as much time on the ball as they would like. They've been hassling them at every turn. Blanchard, Ladd, Carto haven't had it all their way in that midfield. Blanchard sends it in. It's a Durham header that takes it all the way out for a corner on this near side. The percentage of possession has narrowed. 52-48 in favour of Crystal Palace. 10 minutes to half-time, and this time it's Virden to take the in-swinger. Deep delivery, and a volley on the first-timer from Sharp is out of the stadium. Not her sharpest work. Tricky to pick this one out. Bunch of players in front of her. Well worth a go. So just the one shot on target in the match. It's gone Crystal Palace's way. They've had a couple off target. Durham's only effort was a shot wide of the mark from Abby Jones. Virden with the nutmeg. She's into the box and winning another corner. Really good play from the Amsterdam-born winger. Would always much rather to be higher up the field. Often used in the wing-back position and has to do her defensive duty, which she's not averse to, but when she is able to get her head up and threaten defenders, that's when she's at her absolute best. Short corner routine again. Howard gives it back to Blanchard, who is shooting. It's deep. Sharp keeps it alive, and it's coming down the wrong side of the goalposts. Second time that Palace have tried that short corner routine, trying to destabilise the Durham defence, drag them out of position. Almost worked. Nice routine. Blanchard to the back post, and Sharp trying to keep it alive. We are still waiting for our first goal on this WSL 2 Sunday. Strong tackle by Air. Now Sharp playing more centrally here. Defence by sheer weight of numbers from Durham. Every player behind the ball, forcing Crystal Palace all the way back to their captain. Virden with neat skill, wants the free kick and gets the free kick. Just blocked off. Crystal Palace finding this as tough of a slog as the Sheffield United game a couple of weeks ago. Not allowed to play their free-flowing stuff. Had to wait till the 86th minute for a breakthrough in that game. The Blades were so well drilled that night. Long ball forward, Hughes is the target. Tyler Toland using her strength to hold off Hayley Ladd. That's too long from Shepherd, asking too much of Eade. Throw into Palace, and Durham aren't set yet. Might come again for Sharp. Shot is blocked. Carto, nobody gave her a call that Molly Lambert was in her back pocket. Sharp sends one in, and Hughes helps it on its way. But once again, it's easy for the Durham goalkeeper. Second misplaced pass in a row from the New York-born goalkeeper. Lunging tackle from Ladd on Lambert. Good contest between the two of them. Palace leaving players up, high up the field. Hoping to pick holes in this Durham defence, which has been well drilled. Napier's cross. Coming back out to Ladd, aiming for Blanchard, who heads central, and Hughes has put it over from 6 yards. Best chance of the match. Really well worked by Crystal Palace. The ball came out to Hayley Ladd, inch perfect for Blanchard, who picks out Hughes, and would have thought that might be one of the best assists I'll make all season. And Hughes couldn't keep her effort down. Joe Potter might wonder how the scores are level. Palace finishing the half really strongly. Nice football. Durham moving the ball from defence up through the midfield. Lambert short of options, gives the ball back to Foster, who invites Heppel to chase the ball down. Yanez under pressure, calmly picks out Kato. Well won back though. Wilson higher up the field than usual. And it might yet fall for Speckmeyer, who is cutting the ball back onto her right foot and charged down by Everett. The threat remains from Durham. Haven't seen it for 15-20 minutes, but as Crystal Palace thought they were breaking away, one solid foot in the tackle, and all of a sudden Durham still had players high up the field. Foster's come across. To deliver the long throw, and it's looping up and out for a goal kick. And we'll just take a moment because Wilson has taken a blow to the head. Well, these ones really sting. She's just looking to give it the eyes here, flick it on into the box, and the defensive header from Sharp comes through right onto the crown. And they do sting, rattle the cage, and that's why Sarah Wilson's taking her time here. Can't be too careful with head trauma. Physio on. There will be a full concussion check, and what that means is that Joe Potter can call her troops in. Although it's Vicky Athy, I think, who's giving the team talk here, not Joe Potter, who's just overseeing. I think ultimately they'll be happy with what Crystal Palace has done. There have been chunks of the game where they've had possession and not really done anything with it, but towards the end of the first half, Palace have really grown and created goal-scoring chances. Good to see Sarah Wilson is up on her feet. 260th appearance for Durham today for the captain. Only Beth Heppel has more. One of the absolute originals for this club. Been with them since 2014. They've done wonderful things for girls and women's football up in the northeast, and they continue to do so. In fact, what a hotbed that is up there right now. Newcastle, Sunderland, Durham, all contesting in this league. So Wilson is temporarily off the field. Durham down to 10 as we head towards the 45th minute. Lambert wins the header, and Jones and Veerden, the two road runners, are once again going tete-a-tete, and Veerden has raced away from her. And Blanchard feeds Hughes and couldn't get it out of her feet. Just couldn't bring the ball under her spell. And that is good goalkeeping from Shepherd, brave. Really well helped on by Blanchard. And the ball just wouldn't stick for the Wales striker. So we are into the 2 minutes added on at the end of this first half. Still goalless, but there have been, especially in the last 5-10 minutes, plenty of chances for that deadlock to have been broken. The best two chances both falling to Elise Hughes. One fired over and the other one couldn't quite get the shot away. But if Adam Furness's Durham can get through this minute and the scores are level or better, they'll be happy with a job well done, but it could yet fall for Speckmar on the edge of the box. Everett, full stretch challenge, still not clear. Nolan goes back to Yanez, who this time doesn't play through the lines. She puts her big left boot through it and gets the ball away. What a sting in the tail that would have been from Durham if they'd have conjured something there. Is there one last chance for Crystal Palace? Veerden, ball bobbling about, ricocheting for a corner, which will be the last action of this first half, if there's time to play it. Can't think they'll want to take this one short. Pop it in the mixer. We've had our 2 minutes. To the edge of the 6-yard area, and the header is just wide. And as Sharp has her head in her hands once again, the half-time whistle goes, and Durham are high-fiving each other as they make their way to the tunnel. That is 45 minutes well done for the team third from bottom of the table against the in-form Eagles. Durham, well, they had their chances, firing a couple of shots across the face of the Crystal Palace goal, but Palace grew into the game and created good chances. Sharp had a couple, Hughes had a couple, but Kat Shepherd and her goal remain unblemished. And as we go to the break at Gander Green Lane on this opening of 5 WSL 2 games on this busy, busy Sunday, it is Crystal Palace 0, Durham 0. So back underway, no goals in the first 45. Crystal Palace looking to continue their stellar league form. Durham looking to end their patchy league form. And, well, Lambert has been shoved hip to hip and taking to the floor. And the referee has waved away the Durham pleas for a penalty. Jade Wardle having absolutely none of it. But that's a lively start from Durham, the Wildcats. Inside 20 seconds, working the ball forward and giving themselves a look. And a shot comes goalwards, and it is straight at Shea Yanez. That is a first shot on target from Durham. Nothing in the first 45 minutes. And it's taken them less than 45 seconds after the break to register one in that particular metric column. Amy Everett with the composure to beat one opponent and pass the ball out from defence. But Toland has got a boot in there. Durham trying to apply the pressure early in this second half. Hooked clearance being held up on the wind that is gaining in strength from left to right as we look at it. Crystal Palace now playing into the face of that wind, into the headwind. We did see in the first half a number of through balls that Palace were playing for Ashley Virden to run onto, were just galloping off out of play for a goal kick. You would think, physics would suggest that the opposite would be true in this half, and one or two passes might hold up for her. Blanchard with the through ball is intercepted by Wilson stepping in. So these two played out a 1-1 draw in the reverse fixture up at Maiden Castle earlier this season. Elise Hughes, Beth Heppel on the score sheet that day. Once again, Durham have won it high up the field and was trying to pick out Beth Heppel. Nolan came across and swept up the mess and clears the ball out for a throw-in up on halfway. A reminder, Crystal Palace could move back within 3 points of Birmingham City in second place in the table if they were to win today. Durham with victory would move 8 points clear of Ipswich in the only relegation spot in WSL 2. That would feel almost insurmountable when you think that Ipswich have only taken 5 points from half their games this season. It ain't over until it's over. The league is expanding next season. 2 clubs will be promoted into it. Hughes tussling with Grace Eyre. Throw-in awarded to Durham. Abby Jones. Heppel has drifted out to the right flank. And Nolan just clears her lines anywhere but here. Out for a throw. Eyre takes it, trying to get in behind Nolan. And it's all the way out for a goal kick, which the referee's assistant signalled with his finger rather than the flag. I've never seen that done before. Shea Yanez has kept back-to-back clean sheets in the WSL. Did ship 5 against Chelsea in the FA Cup last week. A little kick around the ankle of Blanchard. Free kick to Palace. Lauren Briggs penalised. Briggs started the game as the left full back. She's moved now into central midfield, so slight tweak of the playing formation from Adam Furness at half-time. Hughes' offload is inaccurate. Does seem a little flat in this second half. Early look at Crystal Palace. Durham came out really hungry, looking to get numbers forward, and had a shout, half a shout for a penalty at least. Palace yet to really get going after the break. Cato is surrounded by white shirts. Eade comes away with the ball. And gets it again. And is twisting and jinking and trying to play a through ball through to Speckmeyer, but it's way too close to the goalkeeper. Blanchard tried to use her body and strength, but was bustled off the ball. Cato, though, spreads it out to the right-hand side with Sharp, who's nutmegged her defender and gets the cross in, and it's too long for Blanchard. Sliding in, trying to get anything on it at the far post. This is brilliant work from Molly Sharp. Little nutmeg. Whips the cross in. Bounces twice across the Durham goal. Great opportunity for Blanchard to find her 5th of the season. But file that under another chance that's got away for Crystal Palace. Joe Potter really starting to get to grips with life in the WSL too. Tempted south by Crystal Palace after a really impressive stint with Rangers up in Scotland. 2 years there, won both of the Scottish Cups twice. 100% cup record. It's in the league though where she wants to make a real mark here and lead Crystal Palace back to the top division, relegated last year. Veerden jinking, getting the cross in, and Shepherd has spilled it. Wilson is there to spare the goalkeeper's blushes. Crystal Palace did this in the first half. Once they had their first sniff at goal, they just turned up the heat slowly. Sharp again. Durham have done well. Briggs and Eyre combining. Foster hacks the ball away. Ladd with a really strong tackle on Lamberts. Sliding in. And Lambert felt the full weight of that tackle right across her ankle. Well, it's the sturdiest of tackles that we've seen in this game, and a fairly stern talking to. All smiles from Jade Wardle, but the message is clear. No more of that sort of stuff for Hayley Ladd. Free kick, nothing more. Still yet to have a yellow card in the game. Speckmeyer into Heppel. First touch was good, and the second just got away from her. And it's another one up onto the top of the roof of the stand and out the ground. She's got it in the locker. Certainly has. Has scored some fine goals in a Durham shirt. 6 goals for the season already. Mentioned earlier that Sarah Wilson has 260 Durham appearances. Beth Heppel is the only player with more. This is her 288th in a Durham shirt. Every time she takes to the field, she sets a record, and she's fed Speckmeyer, who with the step over has beaten Everett, cuts the ball back, and that is a great claim by Shea Yanez. Terrific skill, though, by Mariana Speckmeyer to completely take Everett out of the game. Look at this. Oops, see you later. Wonderful from the Venezuela international. And it might come for her again, and it's tipped over the top by Yanez. Big couple of minutes for Mariana Speckmeyer, and it needed a big save from the American goalkeeper. Unmistakable attire, the headband, the shorts pulled up, and the untucked shirt. Speckmeyer, when that left her boot, might well have thought, I'm wheeling away in celebration here. She caught it clean. Corner to Durham. Heppel's had a go, and Yanez had to dive to keep the ball out of her goal. We do see players shoot from corners often in WSL 2. And it's recycled. Wilson is still in there. Speckmeyer can't get the ball away at goal. And Palace have lumped it clear. Best spell of the game for the visitors. Little stamp challenge by Elise Hughes. Did come down solidly on the ankle. And it looks a really sore one, doesn't it? Oh. And Grace Eyre hauled back to her feet. And only one of them is working properly at the moment. That was a sturdy challenge from Hughes. So approaching the hour, and Durham are in the ascendancy here. Ball forward for Lambert is just too long. I have to say, Shea Yanez is earning her corn today. Big save from Speckmeyer a few moments ago. And also was more than equal to the Venezuelans' cross shot just a few moments before. So Palace having to weather a bit of a storm. But now they have the ball up the other end of the field. Sharp's throw. Bouncing ball in there is dealt with by Foster. But back in possession of the red and blue shirted Palace players. So Yanez with impressive clean sheets in the 3-0 win against Birmingham City. That was not expected. Howard has beaten the offside trap here. She's in. She's trying to go round Shepherd and just took too long. Cut the ball back. It still might come for Palace across the face of the goal and hacked away. Well, chances at both ends of the field. And Crystal Palace will feel that they should have the lead here. Howard has done all the hard work, but look at this defensive work from Grace Eade. And on the line, a sliding challenge from Foster. And then Jones came through with the big heave-ho to get the ball away. All hands on deck from Durham at the back. Well, this game is swinging backwards and forwards, but still we wait for the breakthrough. Virden with the cross, might yet come. Shot comes in, it's in the back of the net. It's Molly Sharp. And she had to be sharp. Chest control and firing Palace into the lead. A couple of early sighters in the game for Molly Sharp. Third time's the charm. Well, just the suggestion from Beth Heppel's reaction that maybe there was an arm in the control from Molly Sharp. No VAR in WSL 2. So once the referee has given it, the goal will stand. And that may well be an important goal in Crystal Palace's season. Searching for a 5th straight win in WSL 2 and trying to reel in the leaders as they target promotion back to the top flight. Well, Molly Sharp scored in the 2-2 draw with Newcastle United, and she has scored against another northeastern rival. And Durham now have to go again. They had started this second half really well. But as we move past the hour mark, how does that impact their approach to the game? Palace fans again find their voice. Abby Jones, who just before that goal had cleared one off the line. Speckmeyer has had a couple of chances in this second half. She's won a corner as well, off the boot of Nolan. So Heppel to take. Heppel herself had a corner that was punch clear. That was from the opposite flank. All happened in the 5 minutes before the goal. Best period of the game. If you're watching as a neutral, chances at both ends. Apple sends a high one in, inside the 6-yard box, and still not clear. Jones wants that to run out for a corner. And Blanchard has done her defensive duty, leaning on Jones and forcing the ball out off her opponent. Goal kick. It was Ladd's header initially. Jones thought that the ball was going to run out for a corner, but for the attentions of Blanchard. Our first change of the match are being prepared, with Durham looking to salvage something and Crystal Palace looking to hold on to their lead. Abby Larkin is coming on for Kirsty Howett, the Crystal Palace top scorer. Larkin will go straight into the Palace attack. Molly Sharp, the goal scorer. Napier sends the ball forward. Durham throw, and taken quickly, and it'll be another one. They've worked the line really well. It will feel like a bit of a gut punch, the timing of the goal for Durham, who had come out so well in this second half, created good chances. Shea Yanez used to play football with Manchester City's Bunny Shaw in their time at Tennessee Uni. Love to get promoted and go up against her old college teammate. Crystal Palace doing everything right in their efforts for a bounce-back promotion, relegated last year. Big changes at the club as well. Laura Kaminski was sacked before their relegation. That was in February. Joe Potter came in June. Fairly slow start to life at Crystal Palace, but well, the engine is ticking nicely at the moment. Here's the substitute, Larkin, who loves to run with the ball at her feet. There is confirmation on your screen of the substitution that Palace made a couple of minutes ago. Larkin on for Howard. Durham yet to make any changes. That's a free kick. Cato penalised for swinging Lambert to the ground. Palace any day now will be able to welcome back Rusha Littlejohn following the completion of her lengthy ban for violent conduct, sent off in a game against Leicester City in the Cup. Much was made of the takedown. Headlock takedown akin to a UFC. She apologised. Received a lot of stick online. I felt like too much stick. It was something that happened in an instant, not something premeditated, but Palace will welcome back her years of experience. Here they are on the attack again, and Hughes chasing down the seemingly lost cause that is cleared away by Durham. Into the last 25 minutes of the game. Molly Sharp's goal on the hour separates the sides. Palace just edging the number of shots, 8-7, but both sides have had 2 on target. Tyler Toland, Ireland international. Through ball is easy for Everett. Speckmar once again trying to close down the goalkeeper. Not much room to operate in down that far side. Napier and Kato closed down, charged down. Doing well to emerge with the throw-in for Crystal Palace. Well, you can hear the Palace fans singing glad all over, and they will be right now, with Larkin creating another chance, and Shepherd spills it, and Blanchard makes it 2. And it feels like Palace are home and host. They have been frustrated for enormous portions of this game, but the introduction of Abby Larkin has stretched the Durham defence, and Blanchard reacted quickest of everybody to the goalkeeping mistake. First foot she's put wrong, Shepherd, in a tangle with her defence, and Blanchard is there to tuck in her 5th goal of the season. Well, real quality when Palace needed it the most, from first Larkin and then from Blanchard. 2 goals in the space of 8 minutes. And Joe Potter may well feel that the Durham threat has now been extinguished. No question about it. Durham have to go full throttle. You have to feel a bit for Kat Shepherd in the Durham goal. She's performed really well. Maintaining, marshalling her defence, but it's a spill that fell to the wrong person. Hughes has done excellently well to keep the ball in play and then win the foul. So heading towards the last 20 minutes, and some of the tension around Gander Green Lane has been lifted. At 1-0, you never know. Misplaced pass can put you right under the cosh. Substitutions for Durham. Grace Eade has gone off. And I think Abby Jones has gone off. I'll clear that up for you in a minute, because Larkin is making a real nuisance of herself. Another ball is lost to the surrounding neighbourhood, but Palace have won a corner. Lucy Watson, Layla McFarland have come on for Durham. Grace Eade and Abby Jones have gone off. So confirmation of the substitution that was just made as Crystal Palace look to create more problems at the back for the away team in white. Napier just helps it back from where it came, and Wilson gets ahead to it first. Blanchard went in late as she went for the header. There is a player down injured. Did look a little clumsy from Annabelle Blanchard as she went for the header and just followed through. Eyes on the ball. Pretty sure of that. I don't think there's anything premeditated here, but the loose ball is up in the air and just a collision. Blanchard eyes on the ball. I think it's Lauren Briggs that has ended up in a heap. And it is still Lauren Briggs who's down receiving some treatment. So, chance for Durham to get their heads together in a huddle. You can see number 25 there. Layla McFarland has just come on. San Diego born, one of 8 summer signings for Durham last year. And at the top of your screen, heading back towards the dugout, is Abby Jones, one of the 2 players to have departed. So Joe Potter is now leading the dialogue in that Crystal Palace huddle. The messaging will be different. We keep it tight now. We've got ourselves in the lead. Lauren Briggs is back on her feet. That's good to see. But the rules stipulate, because she was down, because she received treatment, she will have to go off the field temporarily until she'll be waved back on by Jade Wardle. So Durham ever so temporarily down to 10. Confirmation at the top of the screen of the substitutes. Abby Jones, who was full of good running in the first half, gone off for Layla McFarland. McFarland is a childhood Manchester United fan. Her idol was Nanny. Grace Eade has also gone off, and Lucy Watson is on for Durham. So a double change, both attacking, as Adam Furness looks to get back into this game. Wonder how much they'll come to regret those missed chances early in the second half, when at the time at 0-0 it felt like Durham were in the ascendancy. First touch for the substitute Watson, who gets the cross in, and it's only half cleared. Did that strike a hand? Play continues. Lambert feeds McFarland, and Lambert again, and Yanez needed 2 bites at it, but gratefully dives on the ball. That's encouraging from Durham. Their 2 substitutes both getting involved high up the field, creating a bit of a problem for the Crystal Palace backline, who, remember, are eyeing a 3rd clean sheet in a row in this league. And a clean sheet today, especially after conceding 5 in the Cup against Chelsea. Never expected to win that game, but anytime you concede 5, it stings. Would be more than welcome for Joe Potter and Crystal Palace. The omens might not be good for Durham, though. I mentioned that they're on this lengthy winless run. Goes back 3 months. This is their first game in a month, though, for context. They haven't scored more than 1 goal in a game since their last victory, which came in October. 8 games, 3 months. And that was in their win over Nottingham Forest. Wonderful skill from Veerden, has jinked away from 2. But there is no getting away from the Durham captain, Sarah Wilson. Once again, she beats McFarland around the outside. Cross is too high for everybody, so Sharp has got some work to do to keep it alive. Flicks it over the head of the defender. Now Blanchard. It might yet fall for Sharp, who has her 2nd of the day. And now we can say Palace are home and hosed. They have slowly turned up the tension, turned up the trauma on Durham in this second half. Up until the 2nd goal went in, it still felt pretty balanced. Blanchard did really well. The square pass threaded through by Larkin, who has a 2nd goal involvement since coming on as a substitute. And Molly Sharp, the grateful recipient, and Crystal Palace lead 3-0. And it will be 5 straight league wins for Jo Potter and Crystal Palace. Hayley Ladd, Crystal Palace now are going to enjoy this last 13 minutes plus. So confirmation, the third goal scored bang on 76 minutes. Molly Sharp with her second of the afternoon. And finishing the game as a contest, Foster with a wonderful little defensive jink to steer the ball away from Blanchard. Durham might not yet be done. Heppel streaming forward and feeding the ball out to McFarland. And bouncing around like a pinball in there. And it needs Veerden to get her foot on it and get her head up and steer Palace away from trouble. Napier and Watson collide. And what's the referee deciding here? Both of them seem to go down. And the free kick is given Crystal Palace's way. Let's see that again. Napier seems to have come off worst. It's really untidy as they both go for the ball, wallop, and then, yeah. Saw a bit of that on Gladiators last night, actually. Has been a clean game. We've not seen a yellow card all afternoon. Credit goes to the referee, Jay Wardle, for allowing it to flow. Been a couple of times where I thought maybe a card would come out. Hayley Ladd went in with a solid challenge. But we are going to see the introduction of Lola Brown, is number 12, coming on for Annabelle Blanchard, scorer of the second goal. But we're also about to see Crystal Palace debutant in Kelly Brady, the number 19, who comes with a huge reputation from Irish football and US college football. So Elise Hughes is making way, and you can see Kelly Brady preparing to come on there. American-born Ireland international, and playing for Athlone Town last season, bagged 26 goals, winning a League and Cup double in Ireland. And the hope is, from Jo Potter and everybody at Crystal Palace, that she can bring a bit of that to this league. Durham also making a change. Another New Zealand international, Hannah Blake, is coming on, and Mariana Speckmaier is going off. And she might feel it's a day of what could have been. Durham's best chances came from the boot of Speckmaier. So there is Blanchard going off for Lola Brown, on loan from Chelsea, highly rated by the WSL champions. And a first involvement on these shores for Kelly Brady, who brings that big reputation with her. And she's got 10 minutes to show us a little bit of what she can do. Everett leaves the free kick for Yanez. Happy for just a little bit of time to tick down. Kato sends the ball forward for Larkin, who has been, well, one of the stars of the match, and she's only come on as a second half substitute, but had had such an impact. Created the second goal for Blanchard, helped by a bit of a mistake from the Durham goalkeeper, Kat Shepherd. But then also laid on the third goal, Molly Sharp's second of the day. And without the introduction of Larkin, this one might be a bit tighter. Lucy Watson, full of good running down that left-hand side for Durham, closely watched by Everett. And a first touch for the substitute Brown. Sonia Bonpastor was full of praise for Lola Brown when she sent her out on loan from Chelsea. One of the most talented youngsters in England. Might well be felt by Chelsea that she hasn't quite had the number of minutes that they would have liked for a loanee going to the division below. Two substitutes going up against each other, Brown and Blake. Pressure all over the field, still from Durham, who haven't let their heads drop. Sharp plays one down the line for Larkin to chase. She's got pace. She's not going to get that, though. Foster with the intervention. Just a bit of an amble about Molly Sharp, who has been full of good running and has had a reward in this second half. Had a couple of sighters in the first half. Headed one over, volleyed one way over. That was enough to sharpen those sharp boots. And she's bagged a couple of goals since the break. Shepherd with the quick overarm out to Heppel. Through ball is looking for Brady, who was just a little flat-footed. Long ball forward, and McFarland is chasing, and Yanez comes out and is desperate to keep that clean sheet. She had a good game, the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. Well, Palace have a big 3 games coming up. It could well shape whether or not they will be in the promotion mix at the end of the season. Southampton next Sunday, away. First touch for Kelly Brady. And the flag is up on the far side. There will be another substitution, I think. Palace then face Bristol City at home. Bristol City are the team directly above them in the table. And then Birmingham, who are second, away from home. So Lauren Briggs is going off, and on comes Grace Collinson. England under-17 international. Been with the club since she was 9 years old. And another double substitution coming on. Chloe Arthur and Justine van Havermaet coming on. Mikato has had a really good game in the heart of that midfield. Swedish under-23. And Hayley Nolan is taking a breather from the left side of that back 3. Chloe Arthur is a straight swap. So Palace with the big 3 games to come, but on the form that they're on, they won't fear any of those 3 sides. Southampton 6th, Bristol City 3rd, and Birmingham in 2nd. Win all of those games, well, Palace, they won't just be knocking on the door anymore. They'll be in a forceful position in the promotion race, ticking off the games one by one. And they're hungry for more here, crowding out the Durham midfield. Sharp, 2 goals to a name. Heppel feeds Lambert. Now Collinson, lovely first touch by the England under-17. Was searching for Heppel, just played the ball behind her, and Brown was able to get her foot on the ball, and now Palace can try and advance forward with Brady. Crowded out by Wilson and help from Eyre. Yanez is in no rush now. Vital seconds ticked off. The win is secure, but for any goalkeeper, for any defender, it's not the only thing they look at the end of 90 minutes. Were our defences breached? That would be the perfect day for the American goalkeeper. Molly Sharp told off, stealing a few yards on the throw-in, and then seemingly looking to take it from exactly the same spot. Larkin has again beaten her defender, cutting it back to Brady, wins a corner. Maybe that would be the only way that Palace could improve on their day, if there was to be a debut goal for their new striker. Great to see the Little 'uns making their way behind the goal. They want to see Crystal Palace score right in front of them here. It's a luchador wrestling mask on one of them. Chested down by Sharp, who's chasing her 3rd goal of the day. Napier thumps it high. Lovely turn from Watson. And Collinson has spread it through to Lambert, who, if she looks up, has got McFarland square. She picks her out, and McFarland is denied by Yanez. You are not scoring in this goal today. Well, it would have been nothing more than a consolation, but that is terrific goalkeeping. Still might come, though. Collinson has a swing at it. Brown only half away. Virden needs to use her body strength. McFarland again. Shea Yanez will be bellowing at her defence. Can we get the ball away, please? Once again, they've played themselves into a spot of bother. McFarland shoots and just tugs it wide. Well, the 90 are up. I'm being told there's a big chunk of added time. I haven't seen the board go up. I think it could be as many as 7 minutes. Which, if you're 3-0 up, feels a bit unnecessary. You feel the game is done. If you're Durham and you score here, you think, well, maybe that's about right. Heppel with the corner. It's looping. It's headed down. It's gathered by Yanez. The whistle has gone. It is to be 7 minutes added on. We've had 90 seconds of it. So Crystal Palace have a tough few coming up. Durham, well, they've got a big game next up at home to Portsmouth, the team directly beneath them in the WSL table. Only beneath them on goal difference. And indeed, it's because Portsmouth have shipped 35 goals in their 13 games so far. But in terms of the relegation battle, Ipswich look a little lost down at the bottom. But the loser of that game between Durham and Portsmouth will be the catchable team directly above them. So Durham desperate to snap this winless streak. October their last win. Their next game will be in the month of February. That is a long winless run. Palace could be away again here. Oh, it's just bounced into the back of Larkin's standing foot as she was racing away. Van Havermaet has picked up the ball and is playing in Veerden. Shoots across the face of goal! And sliding in and colliding with the post is the quite brilliant Abby Larkin. Well, she's paid for it with her bravery. That will sting. But of all the players on the field that have deserved a goal today, it is the second half substitute, Abby Larkin. Look at the way she gets on her bike here. Van Havermaet has the ball. Larkin, top of the screen, thinks, I need to get to the back post. Veerden's shot is going wide. And Larkin slides in, scores the fourth, and smashes her shin into the goalpost. An assist and a goal, and one other heavy goal involvement. Her cutback, spilled by the goalkeeper, fell to Blanchard for the second. She's only been on the field for 30, 35 minutes. She may well be the player of the match. Certainly everything good about Crystal Palace in this second half has had Abby Larkin's fingerprints all over it. It's the confirmation on your screen that we are in the 7 minutes added on. With the goal, you probably add another 1 minute and a half perhaps. So you'd think we'll play to 98, but the game is up. Durham will go in search of the consolation, but every time the ball goes out off the back, Shea Yanez will take her sweet time, and the minutes will drip away before Crystal Palace confirm themselves. 5 straight wins in the league. They are, without a shadow of a doubt, the form team in WSL 2. Everything is clicking for them. And it's come off the back of a fairly stodgy first half, it has to be said. 0-0 at the break, 4 second half goals. Brady would love a debut goal, but she's feeding the ball central. Looking for Larkin again. Her day couldn't get any better, could it? Whistle is gone. Abby Larkin was offside. Good to see that she's feeling no after effects of that close encounter with the goalpost. It's been a tough old second half for Durham. Cast your mind back 5-10 minutes into this second half. They were in the ascendancy. Couple of really good chances for Mariana Speckmeyer. Crystal Palace rode the wave, rode their luck a little bit, and then ran away with it. High cross is deep and only half cleared. Brown makes sure. Into the last minute of the pledge 7. We may well have ever so slightly more because of the goal. But it's not me that decides the player of the match in these things, folks. But if I did have a vote, it would be going to the Palace number 27. She's been stellar since she came on after the half-time break. And it's down her flank that Palace are advancing again with Napier. Here is Abby Larkin. Just larking about. And shooting, why not? One of those days, you think, well, this will probably go in, so I'll just have a shot. The 97 are up. Added time multi-ball. So a reminder, a big day for Crystal Palace. The men's team playing Chelsea in the Premier League. They kick off in 5 minutes' time. So the fans in attendance will be watching it on their phones, keeping up to speed on the radio. But for their club, half the job is done today. Crystal Palace started slow and finished fast. 0-0 at half-time, and then came the introduction of Abby Larkin, and she made such a difference. 4 second-half goals, and she had a footprint on 3 of them, setting up the second for Annabelle Blanchard, then setting up the third for Molly Sharp, her second of the game, and then scoring the 4th for herself and colliding with the goalpost as she did it. Quality, quality, quality from Abby Larkin and from Crystal Palace, who have now won 5 on the spin in WSL 2. And if the teams above them in the league didn't think they were genuine contenders for promotion, they will now. They can feel the Palace breath on their necks. That is Charlton, Birmingham City and Bristol City above them. For Durham, well, their winless streak goes on. October was the last time they tasted victory. They hadn't taken to the field for a month because of weather postponements, and maybe, in truth, the match sharpness evaded them as the game wore on. It's all smiles out there on the field. Molly Sharp taking the congratulations for her 2-goal salvo in this one. Full time at Gander Green Lane. Crystal Palace, the informed team in the WSL 2, have beaten Durham by 4-0. So a good day out for all of those Crystal Palace fans that came out. The sun has shone throughout. Early kickoff, early start, early dart. Always nice, as the rest of the league is just taking to the field right now for their 2 o'clock kickoffs. Crystal Palace are exchanging hugs with the coaching staff because they have gone out there and done the job, and emphatically so. A good lesson, really. But it doesn't matter how you start in a game of football. It doesn't matter how you are at half-time. It's how you finish. Good minutes on debut for Kelly Brady on the left of your screen in the red boots there. And the game really burst into life after the break. 0-0 at half-time. Durham played their part. 4 shots on target, but couldn't find a way past Shea Yanez. They are the 3rd team in a row that couldn't find their way past the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. They defended stoically. Ultimately, one error really cost them. That was for the 2nd goal, when Shepherd collided with a defender and spilled the ball straight to Blanchard. And from that point, Palace never ceded control. Clean game, not a yellow card in the bunch. And that's pretty rare for Crystal Palace, who do pick up more than the occasional caution. But the biggest of stats is that 4-0 scoreline. We've had 2 games in this WSL 2 weekend, and they have both gone by the same score. So there you go. 2 games so far, 2 4-0 wins to the high flyers in the league. Birmingham City last night dispatching Portsmouth on their own ground, 4-0. Crystal Palace have done the same to Durham today at Gander Green Lane. And it does mean that they are well and truly in the mix in the promotion places. That is not the end of our feast of WSL 2 football. Right now, in just a couple of minutes' time, Charlton and Newcastle preparing to go head-to-head. The leaders against the promotion chasers. Bottom of the table, Ipswich playing Bristol City. That might be leaning the way of Bristol City, who are chasing promotion. Forest and Sheffield United both in mid-table, and Sunderland and Southampton, they don't want to be talked out of the promotion race just yet, but would need a win today, you think, to stay in that mix. So before we leave you, let's remind ourselves of the best of the action. Durham had, well, their best chance of the first half fell to Abby Jones. Loose ball, flash shot right across the face of Yanez's goal. Crystal Palace dominated the possession. They had some really good chances, but look at this defensive sliding tackle from Michaela Foster to slam the door in Kirsty Howitt's face. Howitt 5 goals for the season, but not today, says Foster. Into the second half, Palace picked up much where they left off. Loose one went right across the goal. Blanchard lunging for it at the far post, but couldn't get anything on it. And that was just a warning shot, really, though, for Durham, because the ball came to Molly Sharp at the far post, controlled the ball with her chest and stabbed the ball home for 1-0. There was more than a little shout of handball from the Durham defenders. But once the goal is given on field, there is the suggestion that it might have brushed an arm. Once the goal is given on field, there is no VAR assistance in WSL 2, so the goal stands. Abby Larkin came off the bench, that's her cutback. And the goalkeeper spill fell to Annabelle Blanchard, who doesn't miss from that range. 5th goal of the season for the former England under-19 international. Just keep looking out for Larkin in the green boots, because she was really enjoying herself as a second-half substitute. Layla McFarland on as a sub as well. Played through Lambert. Shea Yanez did well to snuff that one out. There's another through ball from Larkin, feeding Sharp for her 2nd, and Crystal Palace's 3rd of the game. Really well taken finish. Just about staying onside and guiding the ball into the top corner. Durham had a really good chance late on. The game was up by this point, but look at this save from Shea Yanez, coming out like Peter Schmeichel in days of yore. Younger viewers, ask your parents, making herself big. And then Larkin at the far post, smashing into the far post, but tucking in for a 4-0 win for Palace. And so that's all we've got time for in this particular game on this busy WSL 2 Sunday. The 2 games that are in the books have both finished 4-0. Birmingham beating Portsmouth yesterday, and that is the same scoreline that Palace have won by today, wowing their home fans at Gander Green Lane for a 5th straight WSL 2 victory. They've moved level on points with Bristol City, who are just kicking off against the bottom club Ipswich. Palace in 4th, but only on goal difference. As they go down the tunnel, they will take selfies with the fans, they will sign shirts, they'll sign programmes, and they will be pleased with a job well done. As for Durham, the winless streak, well, it just goes on. But next week is a big one for them. Portsmouth, 2nd from bottom against Durham, who are 3rd from bottom. But right now, it's time to hand over to the 2 o'clock starts. So if you've enjoyed watching us, why don't you go and check out one of those games. From me, Chris Latcham, and all of the team at WSL 2, courtesy of Aurora and Sticks and Glass. We will see you next time.